Okay, Sefer Haflaah, the book of, I always forget how we decided to translate this, pronouncements, enunciation, expressions. Hilchos of Arba, there are 4 halacha sections. Hilchos Siduran, this is their order. Hilchos Shavuos, Hilchos Nadarim, Hilchos Naziros, Hilchos Arachin, V'charamim. Hilchos Shavuos, laws of oaths. Yesh bichlal chamesh mitzvos, achas mitzvos aseh, v'arba mitzvos los aseh. 1 positive, 4 negative. Zeu pratan, this is the details. Shelo lishava bishmo l'shaker, not to take an oath in God's name for falsehood. Shelo lisa shemo lashav, not to, see, that's interesting, man. Oh no, yeah, not to take his name for in vain.
Lisa, isn't that like marriage?
Well, it means to lift, carry / bear, and marry. So it is interesting that we use it for that. Did it say that in the minyan mitzvos? Salach beis. Shelo lishava lashav. Yeah, so there they use lashon shavua, which sounds more halachic. Mm-hmm. Although this is going according to the pasuk, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
It was theory.
Yeah. Man, it was a perfect theory until just now. 3, shelo lichpor bapikadon, not to deny a collateral, right? Yeah, meaning that if you have possession of the collateral and someone asks you for it and you deny having it, that's the case?
I think it's denying having it or saying that something happened to it.
Okay, interesting.
I think it's also
okay, 4, shelo lishava al kfiras mamon, not to take an oath over the denial of possession of property, and that's pikadon plus any property. Yeah, that's
like denying the oath.
Right. 5, lishava bishmo be'emes, is to take an oath in his name in truth. So that's the one that's to say.
It's interesting that he added in truth.
Yes. And if we just go back to the Sefer, to the minyan mitzvos, that's number 7. That was way up high on the list, right? Yeah, right. Not be'emes.
Wait, the difference between Gimel and Dalet is just whether you're making a shavua?
Yeah. One is to do the act of denial. The other is to make a shavua on the denial. Yeah. It is interesting because you can kind of see how that's built into the idea of shavuos in general, where it's like denying that you have this, like, is bad, and then, oh, are you going to swear to it? And like that's another hurdle that now is tied to Shem Hashem. That, like, it's like you could see like a place for that lo saseh, Okay, Hilchos Nadarim, laws of vows. Yesh b'chlalan shalosh mitzvos. There's 3 mitzvos. Only 3? Wow. 1 positive, 2 negative. Sheyishmor motzas sefasav v'yaseh k'moshe nadar, to keep the expressions of one's mouth and to do what one vowed.
I don't remember the exact pasuk, but that's the way that the pasuk talks about it.
Yeah. It says here, I'm looking at the minyan mitzvos, l'kayim adam kol shehoti bisfasav mi korban ot tzedakah v'kiyot behem. So it's interesting, it specifies. Shenem ar motzas v'sachah tishmor v'asisa. That's the pasuk you're thinking of? That which comes out of your mouth? Okay. Number 2 is shelo yachel devaro. How do you translate that? That his word should not...
You should not profane his word.
Profane his word, that's good. Okay, yeah.
Because of the share on Sunday, and that's how we should.
Yeah, I just started listening to that here in the car on the way here. Only got the first 4 minutes in. In the minyan mitzvos, he didn't say that. He said shelo la'avor al dvarim she'asar adam al nafsho. Also much more halachic, right? Like not to be over on dvarim. Yachel sounds much more like a way of framing it philosophically or like in a larger context. Oh, nice. Gimel is sheyufar. See, that's an example of where, like, if I wrote that, I would suspect myself of not knowing grammar. Sheyufar haneder o hashavua, that it should be negated, nullified. V'zehu din hafer nadarim maforsh b'torah shebechsav. Wow. This is the law of nullification of vows, which is explicitly stated in the Torah B'Ksav. I mean, I guess he says that because, why does he have to say that here? Because it seems like, is it because it seems like too localized, like it's a din, or is it because it's too manifold? Like it's not like one mitzvah, it's like a procedure.
Is it for a nullification? Is that like the translation of it?
I think so.
This is not Hatar B'Darim.
Right. Okay, yeah, so I don't know the distinctions.
Maybe it's like revoking.
Revoking is a good word.
I think revoking is more accurate.
See, yeah.
There's Hatar B'Darim, which is when you say you regret it, and then that undoes it.
Yeah. This one's like when the father does this for the daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The minyan mitzvos is ladun b'hafir nadarim b'chol hadinin hamorim b'parsha. Ladun. Is that like on the part of Beis Din? Like,
I guess so.
yeah, wow.
To
Bushah.
modify.
To what? Oh, law. Yeah. All right. Hilchos Naziros. Yesh bichlan eser mitzvos. There are 10 mitzvos here. Shtei mitzvos say ushmona mitzvos lo saseh. 2 positive and 8 negative. Vizehu pratan. These are they. One is she gadol hanazir pera. What did we say? The translate that wild shock of hair or something.
Right.
Yes.
How was his hair unkempt?
Unkempt. Yeah. To grow his hair. Yeah. Unkempt. Yeah. But it's legadel. She gadol, right? That he has to grow it out, like sit there and go like, you know. 2 shelo yigalech se'aro kol yemei nizro. That he shouldn't shave his hair all the days of his Nazarism. Gimel shelo yishte hanazir yain v'lo tarovis yain v'afilu chomet shalahen. The Nazir shouldn't drink wine or a mixture of wine, even the vinegar of them.
Not like
Yeah, he goes on, right? Dalash lo yochal anavim lachim.
I forgot that was one isser that he had a huge paragraph.
Right, and then it goes and specifies even more that he shouldn't eat moist grapes, and then hey shlo yochal tzimukim, he shouldn't eat raisins. Vav shlo yochal chartzanim. We had a word for that also, right? The what?
Grape shells, I think. No, not the grape seed.
Yeah, this is the grape seeds. Yeah. And then shlo yochal zugin.
Grape husks.
Okay, there you go.
Which was the,
That we didn't know what that was, right?
yeah, it was like maybe the peel with the flesh or something.
Ches shlo yikanes lo hames. He shouldn't go into the tent of a dead person. Tes shlo yitame lamesim. He shouldn't become tame for the mesim. And yud sheyigaleach al hakorbanos kishayashlim nazirusa o kishayitame. So he should shave upon the korbanos when he completes his nazirus or when he becomes tame. It's interesting he does that for both circumstances. You know, like you feel like it feels like that should either be like something you do as like a sign of completion or failure, not like both. It feels like it dilutes whatever idea or message that is.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's like resetting or something.
It is weird. Why do you? I mean, not why, but it's weird that you have an isser of entering the oil and to be
because when you enter the oil, you are a tame, right? Yeah. So it's not even like in geder.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you go in your tongue, let's see, hold on just a second here. Okay, I just was looking at the minyan mitzvos for the last one. Okay, next. Hilchos erech and v'chorang. I need help with this one, Isaac. Yesh v'chalan sheva mitzvos, chamish mitzvos aseh, u'shtayim mitzvos los aseh. 5 positive, 2 negative, 7 total. Zehu pratan ladun be'erche adam kasher meforish b'Torah v'zehu din erche adam. So that's to evaluate the value of man as is explained in the Torah, where it gives all the particular values, and that's the din of erche adam. 2, din erche behema, evaluating the worth of an animal.
So this says that, so in the minyan mitzvos, he says, Lios marvich behema tmea nosin daveha.
Oh. Okay, well, that's more explicit, more elaborate. I mean,
yeah, I guess if you're makdish a behema chavurah, then it's a korban. If you're makdish a behema tmea, then you do the din of erche behema, I guess. I guess that's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gimel din erche batim. Was that one also longer than the minyan mitzvos?
Lios marvich beso nosin erche kohen. Okay, so I guess you told us how much your house is worth, and then
right. So unlike the this, I guess, and the behema is unlike the Adam words before Torah.
Yeah.
Then hey, dollar is din erche sados.
So if your market your field, you pay it's 50 shekel for the amount that for a certain area, and it decreases until for each year until you.
And then hey is din macharim nechasav.
Yeah, that's different type of donation you can do with your possessions that can either go to the kohen or to the Zeraim.
Okay, good. And then vav shelo yimacher cherem, not to sell.
I guess if you make
You're right.
and sell it,
Okay, good. And then 7 shelo yigael cherem.
can't redeem it either.
Yeah. So it seems like nimsu kol mitzvos hanichlas b'sefer zeh 5 ve'esrim 25 mitzvos eser mehen mitzvos aseh v'chamesh esrei mitzvos los aseh.
Just on the last one, his formulation is Shalom liftos sedei hacherim, not shalom yigal hacherim.
Oh, interesting. So specifically a sadeh. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't too bad because Isaac did all the work. All right, Zeraim.
Happened to have done Gemara Erefin.
Yeah. I also don't have an intuition about the ordering of Sefer Haflaah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why Shavuos, Nadarim, Naziros, Erechim, Haramim? Do you?
it makes sense that Shavuos and Nidarim are first because they're like generic.
Yeah, whereas
type things.
Naziros is a particular.
Especially whether Naziros is a Shavuot or a Neder. I think it's Arachim and Haramim.
Yeah, why are they in? Why are Erechim and Haramim? Just because that's you do it through pronouncement?
It's a. These are all like. I don't know what these are all. It's a speech pronouncement that has a monetary effect.
Mhm.
That doesn't create like kedusha, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like it creates a chiyuv moment. These are all like speech that creates a chiyuv moment for Arachim and Haramim.
And then we didn't say for kedusha yesterday what the order is there, but I think it's fairly evident why it should be Easter would be a first and then Malchus Osiros.
Why?
Yeah, why do you think?
More like cardinal, I'd say, or like base.
Yeah, I feel like they're baser, and also when we talk about the other nations, like he said at the beginning, Sefer Kedusha separates from the other nations, and I feel like that's the quality that the Torah is emphasizing, like all the toevos that they do. That's not really. I mean, it does call it non-kosher food toeva, but like the reason why we distance ourselves from Mitzrayim and Canaan is not because of what they eat; it's because of their sexual immorality, and their avodah zarah. But yeah.
I don't think that's the order of Nefesh, but
Oh yeah.
that's pretty intuitive.
Yeah, right.
Marrying, divorce.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the semi-marriage phenomenon of you and Kalita.
Yeah.
Is where you are like where you have to marry.
Right.
And
then ruptured marriage of Sota. Yeah. That's good. Okay. Zeraim. Hilchos of Sheva. 7 sections. Hilchos Kilayim, Hilchos Matnos Anim. Okay, so Kilayim is forbidden mixtures. Matnos Anim is gifts to the poor. Hilchos Trumos, tithes. Hilchos Masros, how do we translate the difference between Truma and Meiser in English? I think in English we just call them tithes, right?
Well, it's 50ths and tithes.
Yeah. Hilchos Meiser Sheni Veneta Ravai. Okay, second Meiser, and for the planting of the 4th year. Hilchos Bikurim Ushar Matnos Kahuna Shebagvulin. That's one that like people don't know about. That section. It's not a natural category in one's mind. First fruits and the other gifts of Kuna that are outside of the land of Israel.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's like the name.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know enough about the halachas to judge, but it doesn't feel like. It kind of feels like you just like crammed them in at the end,
Yeah, that sounds like you left out the Oxford comma.
Yeah, right. And then Hilchos Shemitah v'Yovel. Yeah, sabbatical and jubilee. Right, Hilchos Kilayim Yesh Bichlal and Chamesh mitzvos lo saseh. 5 mitzvos lo saseh. Zehu pratan. 1. Shelo lizro Zeraim Kilayim, not to plant seeds mixed. 2. Shelo lizro tevua or yarak bakerem, not to plant grain or vegetable in the vineyard. 3. Shelo laharbia behema kilayim, not to crossbreed a domesticated animal. So this is another thing I didn't really realize. Is it okay to be? Is there no kilayim for chayos and ophos?
Oh. Depends on what the formulation is.
Yeah.
But it's not part of the title.
Yeah. I just I feel like that question didn't even come up when we did the mitzvah. I do want to look at Sefer mitzvos about that. Yeah. All right, let's see here. So I'm looking in the Sefer. How do I get there? I go to the Sefer mitzvos. I think that's just the easiest way to go straight there. I got to find it. Give me a second. Sefer Yashlema. Yeah, I assume it doesn't say anything that is more enlightening in the minyan mitzvos.
I was trying to find out why it was talking about Pesach and not when I was looking at
says
I made sure I was in Los Angeles, but I was looking
Kuf Nun Zayin.
I was looking at Kuf Yud Zayin instead of Reish Yud Zayin. Reish Yud Zayin.
It says Reish Yud Zayin. Okay, Reish Yud Zayin. Yeah, so the Sefer mitzvah is very short. Anytime you are marbia, then you're loke. So you have to actually like manually do it. Yeah, so it doesn't say anything else whether it's beyond behema. So I guess we have to see if maybe they're rabbanan. I just never thought about that, right? Can you like make a liger, right? So, all right. Are there any crossbred birds that we talk about ever?
I feel like there probably are a lot of crossbred birds that we just don't realize.
Yeah.
Because there's like so many species. Also, there's like lots of like different types of birds that are pets.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was wondering more for like food purposes. You know, like are there any that are like mass marketed that are industrially like crossbred?
Well, I think not just because like there's only a few birds that we eat and like those are like chicken, turkey.
They're pretty good at that.
No, but for all I know, then it could be that the species that we eat are like, genetically not genetically modified, but like that they were artificially created. I mean, I'm not saying I know that, but like.
Yeah, why don't they do that for animals?
I think they do. I mean, they definitely do that. I think they definitely did that with chickens, not necessarily crossbreeding, but they definitely like bred chickens to like have more fat and meat or whatever, and yeah, I don't know.
I think all domesticated animals do that.
Yeah, right. But I feel like some of them are like when they went to industrial scale, they did that. Like,
okay.
Yeah. All right. There we have animal husbandry bushah. Okay. Okay. We're at 4. Shelo lasos malacha b'kilei behema ke'echad. Not to do malacha with a mixture of animals together. So again, I think I said this when we went through the minyan mitzvos. It feels very different than kilayim.
Yeah.
Than the other forms of kilayim, which have to do with like tampering with
nature.
Like halachic mad scientist type stuff.
Yeah.
And then also shelo libosh kilayim. Right. I think in the minyan mitzvos he actually called it shatnez. Mem Zion. Is it Mem Zion? Mem Beis, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right. He mentioned the avodah zarah thing. Yeah. Right. So that by that argument it should be in Hilchos avodah zarah v'chukos hagoyim.
Right. Also, especially because you do have that other kalayim thing, the issur of eating the mixed plants.
Yeah.
In
Malchus Asuras, right? Yeah.
So it's not like everything has to be in kalayim.
Right. Yeah. But I think the reason why, I mean, maybe it's the same level of argument, but the reason why this should be in avodah zarah is that's why you put begadish and begadisha there.
Right.
Right. Like that was. Did he also say kumrim by begadish and begadisha? See adi.
Well, where else would you put that?
I don't know. Yeah, mipnei shezeh haya minhag ovdei avodah zarah. So it doesn't say kumrim. I mean, I thought he mentioned kumrim in more than one place. Yeah, shanez, and then the next one is pas rosh. So pas rosh. So it's the exact same formulation in Hilchos avodah zarah v'chukos hagoyim. Shelo libo shanez kamo shalovshim kumri avodah zarah, and shelo lahakif pas rosh kekumri avodah zarah. But then yet peos he puts in avodah zarah, and this he puts in kilayim.
Maybe there's not. This is a speculation, but there isn't like a structure of like haircut things. Like it wasn't like a category that he.
Meaning, if you had Hilchos haircutting things,
then it would be there,
and you put Nazir stuff there also. Right. Right. But I feel like this is giving us insight into the categorization, right? That like, I'm not to make it a universal rule, but like the fact that there is a more specific Hilchos category then he classifies this there. Have we seen that in any other case so far, though? Where like something could have gone somewhere else, but it would have gone there in a general way, and he puts it in the more specific one.
So actually, the other Kalayim thing where they put in koseres.
Yes,
I
right.
guess, yeah, that could be either one. That could be general or specific. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I guess it could be.
Well, I mean, does the thing about the chametz, eating chametz, because we raised that question yesterday, right? Like I said, like why doesn't he put the isra v'chila of chametz in Hilchos Malchos Aseros?
Yeah.
And then, so since there is a whole category of chametz matzah,
yeah,
it belongs there more.
It's more of a product of like the Pesach related area than it is a forbidden eating.
Yeah. So yain nesech. Well, why did?
Well, I feel like those are both two broad categories, you know.
Yeah.
But it does seem like a problem with Zara.
Yeah, it really does.
So
I mean, actually, no, maybe not. What are you going to say?
No.
That because you don't drink yain nesech in avodah zarah ceremonies. You libate them, right? You pour them out into the thing. So like it in that sense, it doesn't really belong in avodah zarah.
Right, the tom is just because it's attached to avodah zarah, but it's
Yeah.
really-
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because it's not the isser of. It's not the isser of hana from avodah
Right,
zarah.
and that is in Hilchos Avodah Zarah.
Yeah, because that's different isser. It's not
Yeah.
the isser of the nasa.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta have I had a Mishneh Torah moment yesterday. So when I was tutoring this kid, so this is a question that every high school student asks at some point, or every high school class, the classic trolley problem questions, right? You know, so he asked about it. And so the first question I asked him, which really made me realize like how,
Yes, the generic trolley.
yeah.
Not a form of it that was.
Well, I think this is a generic one. Is if the trolley is going to kill? Oh no, he asked it on halacha. He said if the trolley is going to go kill 4 people, and you can switch it to only kill 1, then halacha says you don't switch it.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were saying.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wasn't sure if you were saying there was a trolley problem type question that was about a particular halacha. Like if you're going to eat something and then you could switch to eat something else.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant the generic one.
Yeah.
So anyway, I decided when answering the question, I said, we have this question that the way we ask it in our yeshiva is like, what's the halachic address of this? But when it comes to the Mishneh Torah, like the way the question is, well, which one of Taryag mitzvos does this fall under? And where I didn't ask him in terms of the Sefarim and like the halachos, and I said, and he was thinking about it, and I said, well, what's the gut reaction answer to that? Yeah, is murder, right? And I said, so interestingly, it's not under that, and I think most Jews don't know where it is under. It's under Kiddush Hashem, right? Because it's in the mitzvah of Yeharig. I mean, there's stuff in murder also, but like the place where the Rambam codifies it is in, if you kill one person, or I'll kill all of you, right? That's like the case in the Rambam that speaks most directly to that. It's a different case, but I'm saying that that's the case that you extrapolate from, and because that's where it is categorized, like once you understand those halachos of Yehareg val Yavor and Yavor val Yehareg, that really is the basis of the answer for this particular trolley problem question. That the essential reason why we hold that you don't switch it is because we don't calculate. Is because it's a demonstrative act, making this judgment call. And halacha says miyemar dedam achsumach tfei lifnei hamakom, that like who can say whose blood is more precious before God, and you don't have the right to like make that judgment call,
right?
Like, so in other words, that we don't evaluate human lives quantitatively. We hold that, your life might be worth more than these 4 people, but you just don't have the right to put yourself in that position where you're making the judgment, and that's like a Kiddush Hashem idea, not a Ritzicha idea.
What's the Kiddush
The Kiddush Hashem has to do with this one. This part's not so clear in terms of in the sources, but like the Gemara just gives the reason of who can say whose blood is more precious before God. But like my understanding of it is that it is demonstrating that idea that only God can be involved in like that kind of calculus, and I can't, Yeah. So anyway, that was just an example of how like I feel like if you just categorize things based on where you would put them in an instruction book, so then it'd be in Hilchos Rutzicha Ushmiras HaNefesh, But the Iker place where the Rambam addresses it, I think, I mean maybe he addresses it there also, but is in Yesodei Torah, in Kiddush Hashem. So just an example of how like, and not only is that where the Rambam addresses it, but the way you look at that scenario in life is going to be through the lenses of the Mishneh Torah, and is going to be through Kiddush Hashem and not through this other stuff, And similarly, and then we had a discussion after that about how like, when I had asked him where in Torah mitzvos would it be, and I said Kiddush Hashem, and like he kind of like had a like shock reaction. I said, was that a shock reaction like of course, or shock reaction of like that makes no sense, And it was that makes no sense because how do most Jews view Kiddush Hashem and Chil Hashem is help the old lady cross the street and make a Kiddush Hashem. But like that's at the end of Hilchos Kiddush Hashem and Chil Hashem in the Rambam. The primary Kiddush Hashem and Chil Hashem is Yeharig Val Yavor and Yavor Val Yeharig. It's like even that like has to be recalibrated like in people's minds. Yeah. It was just a good example of like living Mishneh Torah. Alrighty. Onward. Where are we at now? We finished the key line, right? We're at Hilchos Matanos Anim. Yesh B'chan Shalosh Esrei Mitzvos 13. Mitzvos Sheva Mitzvos Aseh, Shesh Mitzvos Lo Aseh, 7 positive, 6 negative. Zeu Pratan Lahaniach Peah, to leave a corner of the field. 2 Shlo Yichal Lehapeah, not to finish the corner of the field, meaning finish harvesting the corner of the field. 3 Lahaniach Leket, to leave Leket. And 4 Shlo Yilakit Leket, not to gather the Leket. Leket again is the unharvested. No, the
I assume it's the untaken.
Untaken.
Untaken takings.
Yeah, but isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's not as weird.
Shicha is you drop.
Is what you drop, and shicha is that you forget it. That's what I always thought.
Okay, we went through this. I know when we did the thing. 5 laws of ololos b'kerem, to leave the baby grapes in the vineyard. 6 shelo ye'olol hakerem. Well, I didn't know it was a verb.
Not to baby grape the kerem.
Yeah, baby kidnap, not to kidnap grapes. 7 laws of parrot hakerem. Parrot was the ones that fell, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't I say last time that the mnemonic is like particular grapes that? No, I don't know. Is it all right? 8 shelo yilakate paratokarim, not to take the paratokarim. Oh, you don't. It doesn't say shelo yiparate. 9 lahaniach hashecha, to leave the forgotten produce. 10 shelo yashuv lakachas hashecha. That's weird. Shelo yashuv lakachas hashecha. I mean, how else would you get it if not yashuv? Like, is it like? At what point does it become shechacha? Is it only when you go back?
That's like a whole parrot in
whole parrot?
In the
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What is considered like forgotten, or what's like you're still going to continue?
Yeah.
Like I think it's if you're continuing, that's fine, but if you're like harvesting like again because you forgot something, I think that's what it is.
Okay. In the minyan mitzvos, by the way, he said shelo likach omer hashechacha, which is the bundled one, right? Not to take the forgotten bundle. Shneimar lo sashuv lakachto. Oh, so that's lashon of the pasuk. Lo sashuv lakachto. And then l'chol ha'ilanos yeshichacha. For all trees, there's also forgetting. Shneimar lo safat er acharecha. Don't know what that is. Don't glorifyingly take it. I don't know. 11 lahavrish meiser la'anim. To separate a tithe for the anim, for the poor. 12 litain tzedakah kamisas yad, to give tzedakah according to your capacity. 13 shlo ya'amitz levavo al ha'ani, not to clench your fist against the ani. This is another interesting one where, like, if you asked the average person now, hilchos matanos niyim, what's the primary mitzvah there? Like, tzedakah, right? But it's just you just see the stark thing about how much of the institution of matanos niyim is dependent on the land. I mean, the very fact he puts it in Zeraim says that, but like if the Torah were given, here's thought experiment, if the Torah were given now, like afresh, and the mitzvahs were designed for our now type of society, I would say that, first of all, Hill's Sefer's Zeraim would be much smaller, right?
That's a massive thing.
Yeah, but I would say that, like, matanos niyim might go in kinyan of what to do with your ownership of things, like.
Yeah.
I think that's where people, like, how you use your money. Like, I think that's how people, like, classify it. Okay, Hilchos Trumos, Yesh Bichlalan, Shmona Mitzvos, 8 mitzvos.
Oh, before we go on, can you will you give shear on that kind of topic, like if the Torah was like given at a different.
Oh, that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Sure.
Those kinds of things.
Sure, I could do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's
It'd be a good podcast series.
No, that's a good, like, Lomdeha seminar Thursday night series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, remind me about it if I forget. But that's a good one. All right. Where are we at now? Hilchos Trumos Yesh Bichlalan Shmona Mitzvos. There are 8 mitzvos. Shtai mitzvos say, v'sheish mitzvos say. 2 positive, 6 negative. Zehu pratan. These are the particulars. Lahafrish Truma Gedola, to separate big Truma. Isaac, you're gonna have to help me with this one also.
That's 2% of the original. That's the Truma that we're familiar with.
Okay. 2.
Pop culture Truma.
Lahafrish Trumas Meiser.
Yeah.
That's when you get to
That's the one the
Leviticus of the coin, right? That's what we flagged that one.
That's truma from the Meiser.
Yeah, Truma of the Meiser, yeah. 3, Shlo Yakdim Trumos Meisros Zel Zeh, Ela Yafrish Ala Seder, not to preempt Trumos and Meisros to each other, but to do them in order. And that we said there's a whole order, right?
Whole order, and in the minyan mitzvos he goes through the order.
Oh yeah. What was it again?
Truma labikurim. So bikurim was first, then truma.
Yeah.
Below master rishon la truma. Below master sheni la rishon. Al musing al siddur. Bikurim tchila ve'achakach truma gedola ve'achakach master rishon ve'achakach master sheni.
Wow, I just must have blanked that we read that whole thing. I feel like that would have stood out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like taxes. A lot of stuff like that in tax law, right? About, like, what you.
Order that you do.
Yeah, like what you can deduct, and like when you have to, at what point in the proceedings do you count certain things? 6, no, 5, no, 4. Shlo yochal zar truma, that a non-Kohen cannot eat truma. 5, shlo yochal afilu toshav Kohen o sechiro truma. So it's not toshav Kohen, right? It's the toshav of a Kohen, right? His dweller, yeah, or his hired laborer that they can't. Did we? Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I don't think we came back to it though. 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. 6. Shlo yochal arel truma. Uncircumcised person cannot eat truma. 7. Shlo yochal kohen tameh truma. Kohen tameh cannot eat truma. 8. Shlo yochal halala truma. V'lo muram mina kodshim. What was that in the minyan? Mitzvos. Shlo tochal chalala kodesh, lo trumas v'lo chazev v'ashok. Bas kohen kisi heli ish zar he trumas kodeshim lo sochel. It is weird. Is this the only, like, bas kohen specific mitzvah?
Halala is only a bas.
Well, chalala is feminine, right? Halal is the.
So why is that not an issue?
I don't know. I mean, and the pasuk said halala, right?
Yeah.
It goes into the bus going.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that means. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that wouldn't exist.
It's
throughout
the-
Halal.
Well, because in terms of like the way that Kohanis is passed down, she still is like like in terms of like lineage.
Yeah.
But this is like a separate issue that's taking her out of Kohen status in terms of Kohen food.
Right. Her ability to eat these things. Yeah.
Wasn't Haflaah also like a mom's or something?
That's what I thought. For female, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not entirely clear on the halal thing. Yeah. Hilchos Meiser, mitzvos say achas v'hi lahafrish Meiser rishon b'chol shana v'shana mishneh hazriya v'litno lalavim. I don't remember reading this in the minyan mitzvos. Let's see what the minyan mitzvos was.
It's probably just to give less a rishon.
Lahafrish Meiser dagan lalavim. Yeah, similar. So this was to separate Meiser rishon each and every year of the years of planting and to give them to the Levim. Okay, fine.
So
that's like excluding what, Shemitah and Yovel?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also excluding is it the each every year sounds like it's excluding the Master Sheni Master Ani thing, where Master Sheni is only on years 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Okay.
And
So that is what we're getting to now, right? Hilchos Meiser Sheni V'neta Ravai. Yesh Bichlan Tesha Mitzvos, 9 mitzvos. Shalosh mitzvos say Shesh mitzvos lo say. Sorry, yeah, 3 positive, 6 negative. V'zeu pratan lahavrish Meiser Sheni. Separate Meiser Sheni. 2 shalol lahoti dama bishar sarchei ha'adam chutz mi'achilo shesiyah v'sicha. Not to spend the money on any other human needs other than eating, drinking, and anointing. 3 shalol la'achlo b'tuma, not to eat it in a state of tuma. 4 shalol la'achlo b'aninus, not to eat it in a state of mourning. 5 or however you want to translate aninus, first day mourning. I don't know. Intense mourning, yes. 5 shelo lechol meiser sheni sheladagan chutz Yerushalayim, not to eat meiser sheni of grain outside of Yerushalayim. 6 shelo lechol meiser tirosh chutz.
Yeah, I think we noticed that also in minyan mitzvos that it says dagan.
Dagan, yeah. Not to eat meiser tirosh. We had this question last time. Tirosh and yatar. Tirosh is the wine, right? The threshing,
Oh,
or not the threshing, but the wine. That, right? Chutz Yerushalayim, outside of Yerushalayim. 7 shelo lechol meiser yitzhar chutz Yerushalayim. That's oil. Not to eat meiser yitzhar outside of Yerushalayim. 8 lihios neta ravai kulo kodesh. V'dino lehe'achal b'Yerushalayim lib'alav k'meiser sheni l'chol davar. That's a mouthful. That the plantings of the 4th year should be entirely holy, and its status should be that it should be eaten in Yerushalayim by its owners, like meiser sheni, with regards to everything. What was that? And I also don't. I could easily have just repressed all the memories from going through Zeraim just because like it was just a blur. Lios neta ravai kodesh. That's it. Okay, so I yeah. And then the last one is Lizvados Vidoi HaMeiser, to do the Vidoi Meiser confession. Okay.
Unless I missed it, I'm just noting Orla was not any.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Orla. Well, you have the Isra Achila of Orla that we did, right? In Machal Sasuros.
Oh, was that Machal Sasuros?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought so. Orla.
It doesn't like.
Yeah, it was in 25 in Machal Sasuros. Shlolach Orla.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because it doesn't fit into any of these other categories.
Yeah. No, but it's a good point though. Is you could have had it there.
Yeah.
Okay, last.
Is also in Machal.
Right, that's true. Okay, that fits in with our point of the specificity.
Yeah, it would have been like Machal Sasuros of the field or something.
Yeah.
Which is just Machal Sasuros, not.
Yeah, where else are you gonna get your Machal Sasuros if not on the field? All right, I have no clue what's in this section, so here. Oh yeah, that's right. Bikurim, yeah. 8 positive, 1 negative. Zehu prata. Lahavish bikurim ulahalosim lamikdash, to separate first fruits and bring them up to the mikdash. 2. Shlo yochal hakohen bikurim chutz Yerushalayim. The kohen shouldn't eat the first fruits outside of Yerushalayim. 3. Likros alehen. Oh, to do the kriya bikurim. What was that in the minyan? Mitzvos kuflam. No, but I'm saying in the minyan mitzvos. Oh, it just says likros al bikurim. Yeah, it is the Aromi Ovavi. I just didn't remember how you formulated it.
It doesn't say like that which it says in bushah.
Yeah. Right. Did he say that in? Yeah.
What? Right.
Yeah. Lasapir. Yeah. For lahafrish chala lakoin, to separate chala for the coin. 5, laseis zro ulachayim v'keva lakohen. All right, what are these again? The shank, is that a word that is appropriate here?
It's the shank.
The shank and the lachayim, the jaw, the maw, right? The jaw. Didn't we say the jaw and then the translation said the maw, and you're like, isn't that like the open mouth? Or am I imagining this whole dialogue?
Yeah, I know, that sounds
Yeah, and then the keva is the that's where Pinchas skewered the right Zimri and yeah, I don't think that's what it means here, but that's the word, right? Keva. I'll say Kuf Mem Gimel. Did it use a different lashon? Kuf Mem Gimel. Oh no, use Keva. Let me just quickly take a peek at Devarim.
18:3.
Yeah. Okay, so the English there says it's opening. The shoulder, the two cheeks, and the maw. So Keva is the maw.
Keva's the maw, right?
And l'chaim are two cheeks. All right. Very well. All right. 6, litain lo reshis ha-gaze, to give him the first of the shearings. 7, lifdos bechor habein v'litin pidyono lakohen. Oh, that's what the other thing that's in here. It's the firstborn son, and to give his pidyon to the kohen. So that's pidyon haben. 8, lifdos pater chamor v'litin pidyono lakohen, first donkey, and give it to the pidyon to the kohen. 9, la'arov peter chamor im lo rata lifdosa, to break the neck of the peter chamor if he doesn't want to redeem it.
So how many gifts to the kohen are there? There's bikurim, challah, zerlicha and keva, grace of the gaze, bechor haben, and peter chamor.
So
6.
yeah.
Yeah.
So everything except for Bikur. I mean, or I'm not saying everything except for Bikur, but
except for Truma.
yeah.
I feel like it would be like this would be like a good like game show question, like what gifts other than Truma.
Right. Okay, last one. Hilchos Shmita v'Yovel. Yesh b'chlam shtayim ve'esrim mitzvos. Tesha mitzvos aseh. Shlosh mitzvos los aseh. 13 assays and 9 essays and 13 los assays. Zeu pratan shetish bos haaretz mimalacha b'shvis, to cause the earth to cease or rest from malacha on the 7th year. Yeah. 2, shlo yavod avodas ha'adama b'shana zo, not to do the work of the land on the 7th in that year, right? So we said there it's like the assay and the los assay are just corresponding, I think, right? I don't think that they're functionally doing different things.
Yeah.
3, shlo yavod avodas ha'ilan b'shana zo, not to work the work of the tree. 4, shlo yiktzor hasafiach keneged hakotrim. What's keneged hakotrim? No, but what's the keneged?
Maybe it's like a methodical, like thorough way.
Yeah, it could be. I actually do want to check the English on this one.
Good stuff, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, there's English here? Since when? Is English in?
Yes.
It could be since yesterday. Let's see what it says. I would totally buy Alator t-shirts, by the way. If I got to tell him that. He'll have it up tomorrow. Okay. Where is it? What number is this? 4, right? That one should not cut the aftermath. I've never heard aftermath being used in a literal sense. I assume there's like a literal sense that is just outdated. One should not cut the aftermath which grows of itself after the manner of the reapers. So in that way, in a harvesty. Oh. Oh boy! Wow, that was something. All right.
Wait, so is that like what is that?
I feel like it's like don't do a normal, thorough industrial like sort of harvest of the.
I guess if you're taking branches, if you're taking branches from a random tree, you're not gonna like take like let's say like all the ones on this side or something. You know, you're gonna just
here and there, yeah, whatever you can reach or something. All right, 5 shlo yivtzor hanazirim keneged habotzrim.
Wait. So taking from wherever you are, that's the keneged kotzrim? Or taking from one place?
Oh, I thought it's. it's usher to take it like the kosher, to take the wild growth like the kosher, which is in this systematic way. Yeah. But if you just take it haphazardly, then that would be fine, right?
Yeah. I assume so.
Yeah.
And this is during Shemitah.
During Shemitah, yeah. 5, shlo yivtzor hanazirim kneged botrim. So same thing, but with tree growths. Let's see, the English here is should not gather the fruit of untended trees after the manner of the workers gather the fruits in vineyards and orchards. Yeah, I know botzer was that weird harvest word for trees. 6, shiyashmit mashatoti la'aretz. How do you translate that? Shiyashmit mashatoti la'aretz. You sabbatify. It says here one should leave what the land produces in the year free to all. Shamot.
That's the assay of, it's an assay form of shvisa for the produce itself,
I guess, yeah. 7, shiyashmit kol halva'aso, that you free all of your loans. 8, lo yigos v'lo yitba haloveh, that you shouldn't oppress or claim from the borrower. 9, shlo yimana milahalvos kodam hashmita k'dei shelo yovad mamono. You shouldn't refrain from loaning before the Shemitah so that you don't lose your money. 10, lispor shanim sheva sheva.
Just another, it's a really weird structure. Almost. Like, how do you have that set up?
Yeah, like if you have the urge and you violate it, yeah. 10, lispor sheva shanim sheva sheva, so to count the 7-year cycles. 11, and that's for basting, right? 11, Lakadish Shanasa Chamishim, to sanctify the 50th year. 12, Litko Bashofar Basir Litishrei Kdei Latses Avadim Chofshi, to sound the shofar on the 10th of Tishrei in order that the slaves go free. 11, Shlo Te'avid. What was that?
The Kdei is weird. Like if they don't sound them,
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think so. I think the sounding actually frees them. 13, I think so. I don't know for sure though. 13, shelo te'aved adama b'shana hazo, you shouldn't work the land in this year, meaning 50th year. 14, shelo yiktor seficha k'neged hakotrim, so you shouldn't cut the sefichim of the jubilee year k'neged hakotrim. 15, shelo yivtzor nisireha k'neged habotrim, same thing for the botrim. 16, litin geula la'aretz b'shana hazo v'hu din sedei achuza u'sedei mikna. Right, we talked about that last time, or when we did this before. To give is there a special word here for geula other than redemption? Freedom, I don't know. 17, shelo timachar ha'aretz litmisus, not to sell the land in perpetuity. Is that what we said? 18, din bate arechoma, the law of the houses of walled cities. 19, shelo yinchal kol shevet levi be'eretz Yisrael ella nosnim lahem arim matana l'sheves b'hem. That's a weird structure. Shelo and then ella, that the entire shevet levi should not inherit in Israel, but rather give them arim cities as a matana to dwell in.
So is that an assay?
I mean, it's a los assay, right?
I think it's a qualification of the los assay because they are still in Eretz Yisrael.
Right, but it's not a nachala in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah, and it's also funny it uses lashon matana. Right, it's not. That's another like non-nachala thing. 20, shelo yikach shevet levi chelik babiza. They shouldn't take the spoils. What did we say the spoils were? Yeah, was it when they initially conquered the land?
I imagine it's not that because wouldn't that not be the Doros?
Wouldn't what?
Well, anyway.
No. I think we did say that was like one of those mitzvos that only applied. Like it's a what I call like a terminal mitzvah, like a mission accomplished mitzvah. The one time. 21, litin la'levim arim l'sheves u'migrushehem, to give them cities to dwell in. And what was the migrushehem again? We had that same word last time. That was hard.
There was one in between.
Yeah, to give the Levite cities to dwell in together with their suburbs and their migrushehem. 22, shelo yimachar migrash arehem, not to sell their suburbs, ela golim la'olam, but they should redeem them forever. Bein lifnei hayovel, bein la'achar hayovel, whether before or after the yovel. Yeah, I don't remember reading that one. Reish chaf ches. Reish chaf ches.
Migurash Halvim is the same. Shamar,
Oh, no, Chavas.
Steve Migrash, Arayan Lili Moter. If he has Shmuel Lamdu, Shudus Har Shmuel Yishtanen. Well, this is very different.
That is. And then Nimtu Kol Mitzvos Haniklos B'Sefer Zeh Sheva V'Shishim 30. Sheva V'Shishim 67. Man Shloshim Mitzvos to say 30 mitzvos to say V'Sheva Shloshim Mitzvos Los Aseh and 37 Los Aseh.
Yeah. The whole framework for the overlay.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, we're done with that for now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I would say about the order of it.